welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader, Mary Trimble, here with your readings for January the 6th through January the 12th. And what a celestial sky we have this week. Wow, major. But I'll get into that in the astrology report. Right now, we're on the intro, and I want to thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. And I hope that you enjoy these readings and that you will return. These are general readings and they're for the collective, so take what resonates, leave the rest. If you'd like a personal reading, click on this link, which will take you to my website, and you can see what readings I offer. I live to give readings, guys. Now, this is for your sun, moon, and rising. Don't forget that. There will be skip times for the intro, the astrology report, and the tarot card reading if you are checking out your sun, moon, and rising. All the other links and everything will be in the show more section below, so you can always check below in the description box and click on any of the links in there. You know, if you want to look at the other readings, or it takes me a minute sometimes to get the links up, you know, but once everything's up, then I put the links up. Please help me by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing if you haven't already. And now, without further ado, let's get to the astrology report, shall we? Hello and welcome to the astrology report section of your reading. And first, I just can't go without mentioning and putting my heart out there for Australia and all those fires. And, you know, I can't spend too much time on that because I get very emotional, but I'm praying for them. And I just, if anyone's watching from Australia, my God, my heart goes out to you. I'm so sorry. And maybe this is what I don't want to say this is what we need, to take this. Maybe governments around the world will hear this and take some action and towards climate control and perhaps people will stop denying that there's a climate crisis. Anyway, I have to move on from that. I get very emotional with that. It's very, very sad. All the animals and anyway. The year 2020 will not be easy. If you are one of my patrons or one of my patrons, you can check out my Patreon page, guys. I am going to do a yearly forecast for those for those patrons by sign, and I'm working on that. And it is challenging. For most of us, will be affected, especially those in cardinal signs. Cancer. excuse me. Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, and Aries. We will be most affected by this huge astrological event coming up. But let me go on to Thursday, January the 10th, the full moon lunar eclipse in Cancer at 20 degrees. At 2:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Full moons, as most of you know, is when the moon is opposite the sun, and it's actually the sun is lighting up the moon. It's full on. It's exactly opposite, right? So their energies are melding, right? They're almost married, if you will, because it's kind of a seesaw effect. But not only is the moon opposite the sun at this time, it's also opposite Mercury, Pluto, and Saturn, and the South Node. So I can't help but mention in Capricorn, there's Jupiter, the Sun, Mercury, the South Node, Pluto, and Saturn. And 2 centaurs are also in there. And there's never been that many planets in Capricorn. I think it's been 735 years, according to Pam Gregory. It's 735 years. I haven't checked it in the ephemeris, but I believe her because she does a lot of research. And she does mundane, which is all about, government and the world. I do more personal, so I do appreciate her knowledge on that. Okay, so this is the okay, so the moon in Cancer is going to be all about kind of family, relationships, it's emotional, it's about home. Um, and Capricorn, which is opposite, is all about the government and kind of authority and really about career and work and things like that. So it's about that balance. It's about those opposing energies. And this, look, full moons are about releasing, letting go, right? Ending, culminations. Um, and eclipses are even more about that. So eclipses can kind of bring something to the forefront that's perhaps been, it's like secrets are revealed, things, realizations are coming into play. And this is about, clearing things out. It's about trimming the fat, streamlining. What do you need as opposed to what do you want? It's really about streamlining. It's about not having more than you need. That's what it's about. It's clearing things out. It is organizing. It is getting rid of sometimes people, places, things, whatever isn't serving you anymore or that, doesn't align with you anymore, because we outgrow friendships and relationships sometimes. Sometimes we stay in them well past their expiration date. And we need to kind of look at that. Things may come to a head where we'll see that and we'll see that we need to move on. It's those of us who are more self-aware and want to grow and move forward in this on this journey, we'll see what we need to let go of. So change is inevitable. This is about change. Neptune is it's in a trine to the eclipse. Our intuition and psychic abilities are heightened, and our sensitivity to other people's energies are also heightened. We can feel their moods, we can feel their energies. And, if you're surrounded by toxic people, that's toxic. It's going to affect you personally. So you want to, surround yourself or protect yourself and not get too tuned in. If you find yourself tuning into somebody who's like raging or depressed or, in a terrible mood, don't take it personally. Retreat from their energy. So, a lot of emotions can be brought up. It's a very emotional time. Well, some of us are feeling it now. Also, on Thursday, January the 10th, Uranus stations direct. Now, it has been retrograde since August the 12th, 2019. So that's 5 months. And it will station direct. Now, it's been slowing down. Now, this Uranus is the planet of electrifying sudden changes and happenings. Uranus rules electricity. It's like lightning and thunder. And it's the higher octave of Mercury. It's about fast thinking, sudden happenings. And as it slows down to go direct, its symbolism amplifies. So, electronics could go awry. I've been having that. I mean, I've had a lot of technical issues the last week or so. So I know that this has been happening to me. So that will bring an element of the unknown into the mix on Thursday as well, and actually before and after. They say eclipses last up until 6 months, but so look, this brings me to our huge astrological event that astrologers have been talking about for years. That is Saturn conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. Now, as I mentioned before, we have Jupiter, the Sun, the South Node, Mercury, Pluto, and Saturn all in Capricorn, plus two centaurs, Plutos and Chariklo. But I'm not going to get into them. That's a whole other video. But anyway, there's not been that many planets in Capricorn for 735 years. That's a long time. This is huge. It's massive. There's massive change. People who will be affected by this are those in cardinal signs particularly, and that is Aries, Cancer, Libra, and of course Capricorn, where it's all happening. So they are the ones who are most affected by this. But of course, depending on where your planets are, so many of us are. This is because it's all in Capricorn, it's global too. We're already seeing changes happening. We're already seeing politics and catastrophes happen around the world, because Saturn is about rules and regulations and the old order, right? He's like the father figure. And Pluto is about breaking the old systems down so that new systems can replace. So it's about destruction, it's death and rebirth, right? Well, the destruction part is kind of, it's stressful for us. And we're seeing that in Australia. We're seeing it, Iran, number 2 guy being taken out. I mean, and things are definitely going to progress exponentially. Look, I can't help it. It's kind of a pessimistic view, but when I look at the astrology, it is disturbing, to say the least. The good thing is, though, that yes, there's destruction, yes, but what will come out of this is a new world order. Things will change. I mean, irrevocably change. And I think after the beginning of 2021, it's kind of peaceful for a while. But I'm not going to go into that. This is a very deep and very intense time, and time will tell as to how this will play out. Many of you are already feeling this change and transformation, and things are coming up. Pluto brings stuff up from the dark, out of the darkness into the light to be addressed. Secrets come out. Governments, we've already been seeing that. You see, we feel this before, and we'll be feeling it for the whole of 2020, not to mention other things that are going on later in the year. So what I will say, yes, all these old structures and paradigms will be restructured. They'll be brought down. And, I mean, I'm going into this in a lot more depth on my Patreon page. I'm going to be creating videos for the year for the signs. So I am currently working on those and I've been studying this for a while, and I've been really looking at what's going on for each sign and how they are affected. But I will say this in general, this is all like outward energy, because in Capricorn it's all yang energy, it's male energy, it's going out, it's explosive. And that's the same with Uranus. It's been in retrograde, so it's kind of within and going, when a planet goes retrograde, it kind of goes in, right? So we need to bring the yin energy out, and the way to do the yin, the way to balance this with yin energy is to go within. Going within, we can quieten our mind. We don't have to be frightened. When we are at peace within, then we experience peace without, and we can hear ideas and solutions to what we think is our problems are. We need to be bigger than our problems, is what we need to be. And we can do that by going inside. So meditation is so important, and that'll bring us into the yin within, right? The yin within. We need to connect with a divine feminine. We need to be receptive and not pushing out, because this is all pushing out, right? This is all male yang energy. So we need to get in touch with the yin, and we need to be the calm within the storm. And we'll get through this, darling. We'll get through this together. Let's go to your tarot card reading, shall we? Hello, Aries, and welcome to the tarot card section of your reading for January the 6th through the 12th. Let's see what's in store for you this week, guys. This is for Aries. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Aries to get them through the week? We all need to get through. It's more than a week, really. But let's see what we have. All right. My lovely Aries. 3 cards for Aries, please. 3 cards for Aries. 1, 2 more cards for Aries. Oh, does that want to come out? I'm going to put it back in. I'm going to make them pop out. 2 more cards for Aries, please. Oh, there's 1. Yep, that doesn't surprise me. Okay. Let us have a look. Oh, very good. Now, these are clarifying cards for Aries. This is clarifying. These are clarifying cards for Aries. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can we give Aries through these clarifying cards? Please clarify. Yes. Please clarify. Oh, a lot came out, but 1 there. And please clarify. Oh, I think too many came out. I'm going to do that again. Please clarify. There it is. That's what was meant to come out. Yes. Love will keep us together. All right. Well, let's take a look at your card, shall we, Aries? Let me push that mic back so that doesn't get in there. Okay. The first card out is the 10 of Cups. Then you have the Queen of Pentacles, clarifying it. You have the Death card, which is no surprise this week for anyone. And there, clarifying it is the Knight of Pentacles. Then you have the Queen of Swords right next to the 6 of Pentacles, clarified by the Knight of Cups. Aries. Okay. So the first card out is like, happy families. This eclipse is very opposing energies, right? So it's all about the home, it's all about family, it's all about our relationships, at home and communication. So I have a feeling that this is happy. This is like the happy ending. This is a beautiful card. So I feel that your home life is quite happy. You've got all this. You've got all that you need. Your home, your relationships at home are great. And look, you've got the Queen of Pentacles, and she's the incredible mother. She's a brilliant businesswoman. She likes abundance. This is about your home life seems quite steady this week. Emotionally fulfilling, I'll go so far as to say, for most of you. And manifesting that which you want. Your home life is fertile, so you're happy in your home life. Of course, this is a general reading, so. But then you have the Death card, which is, this is the eclipse. This is the big astrological event on Sunday. So this is about a really huge life-changing situation. Now, what's interesting, I always think of the Death card sometimes as being in the hallway and you have to close the door to the past. This is going forward completely differently. It's definitely what's happening in my life. My life has already changed, but I expect it to change even more. I am a cardinal sign. I also have Mars in Aries. So, and I've got a lot going on in the cardinal houses. So Aries will be affected definitely deeply by these celestial events. But you're going to come out of this renewed, reborn, and totally almost reinvented, if you will. So it's exciting on that part, as long as you can handle the change and just take it in your stride. And that's interesting that you have the Knight of Pentacles clarifying the Death card. This also reminds me of the fires, right, in Australia. And it also reminds me of the First Nation Australian flag, right? The sun right here in this. It's very interesting. So yeah, things are changing. I mean, imagine the change that everyone's going through in Australia. I mean, when you're going through that transition period, when you're in the hallway, it's very difficult and it's almost exhilarating and scary. But I digress. I don't want to go in there. I don't want to go there. But what's clarifying the Death card for you, Aries, is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is all about planning. So accepting the change, but planning for the future. And this is about surveying the land. It's taking it's definitely moving forward. So you need to move forward, but you need to be very deliberate. You need to plan your move. You need to survey the land. You need to discern where you're going to spend your energy, because the Knight of Pentacles doesn't make a move. He doesn't waste his energy. He's strategic about his move forward, and he's methodical and deliberate. So he does move forward. He's ready to pounce into action if need be, but he's contemplating and planning. This is all about planning. And then you have the Queen of Swords, right? And the Queen of Swords is all about thinking rationally, not allowing your emotions to come in, is what I'm getting for this. This is about looking for solutions in a rational, logical kind of mindset and not being attached emotionally. And so it's very important for you to be almost Libran, if you will, not getting caught up in the emotions, but strategically making plans. This is grounding. This is about the intellect. And the wonderful thing about this, these celestial events, these astrological events, is that Uranus is playing a part, and Neptune, and it will affect some of you and some of you not, but Uranus is fast thinking, so ideas come in, solutions will come in. If we're not mired in emotion, we can think of the solution, right? So this is a good thing. This is brilliant. So think about things in a logical and rational way. And right next to it is the service card. So it's about being in service, be in service wherever you can. It takes it takes yourself out of your own situation. And, even look, it's like even when you're going through a catastrophe, people pull together and help each other, It's about that. It's about being there for others, even if you're going through it. It's like if you've got something that you can help someone else with, it's going to give you a kind of a fulfillment to move forward. And look, clarifying it all is the Knight of Cups, clarifying these two cards. It's about love. It's the gift of love. It's the gift of intuition, of psychic ability. We're all getting that. But it's definitely the gift of love. It's being heart-centered. It's showing love. And, going forward with an open heart. So I'm really feeling that for you guys. I feel that this is a very positive, a positive thing that's happening for you guys. So I feel that you can get caught up in the transition. You can get caught up with like-minded people that are going through the same thing, and you can have a kind of a camaraderie and, like minds, birds of a feather stick together. You can help each other. I feel that it's going to be a life-changing, I'm getting that it's kind of inspirational almost. And it's, this change can also lift you to a higher plane. So I think if you come from a higher octave, from your from your higher self, perspective, things will really be great for you. Aries, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week.